Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the English Leap podcast. I am your host, and I am so happy that you are here with me today. This is your space to practice English, to learn new ideas, and to feel motivated. Before we start, I want you to take a moment. Just breathe. Breathe in slowly, feeling the air fill your lungs, and then breathe out, letting go of any stress. Good. Now, I have a question for you. How do you start your day? Think about it. When you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing you do? Do you reach for your phone and start scrolling through social media? Do you hit the snooze button 2 or 3 times? Do you rush out of bed because you are already late? Or do you have a calm, peaceful morning where you feel in control? The way you start your morning sets the tone for your entire day. It is like the first domino. If that first domino falls in the right direction, the rest of the day can flow smoothly. But if that first domino is wobbly, or if it falls the wrong way, the rest of the day can feel chaotic and difficult. Today, we are going to talk about something very powerful. We are going to talk about daily routines. Specifically, we are going to talk about how to build the best daily routine for success. Now, when I say success, I don't just mean making a lot of money or having a big career. Success can mean different things to different people. For you, success might mean feeling healthier. It might mean having more energy to play with your children. It might mean finally learning English to a level where you can have conversations confidently. Or it might simply mean feeling less stressed and more peaceful at the end of each day. All of these things are forms of success, and the secret to achieving them is often hidden in the small, daily actions we repeat every single day. We are creatures of habit. Scientists say that about 40 to 45% of our daily actions are not decisions, but habits. We do them automatically without thinking. This is amazing news. It means that if we can change our habits, we can change our lives. And a routine is just a collection of good habits put together in a sequence that works for us. But building a new routine is not always easy. Many of us have tried. We have read articles about the morning routines of successful people. We have seen videos of CEOs who wake up at 4 a.m. to meditate and exercise. We get inspired. We think, I will do that too. So we set our alarm for 5 a.m. The first day, we wake up and we feel proud. The second day, it is a little harder. By the third day, we turn off the alarm and go back to sleep. We feel like we failed. We think, that routine is just not for me. But the problem is not you. The problem is the approach. You cannot copy someone else's routine and expect it to work perfectly for you. You have to build your own routine, step by small step, based on your own life, your own goals, and your own energy levels. And that is exactly what we are going to learn how to do today. Let me tell you a story about a man named Michael. Michael was a teacher. He loved his job, but he always felt tired and stressed. His days felt like a blur. He would wake up late, rush to get ready, grab a coffee on the way to work, and arrive just in time. At school, he felt like he was always reacting to problems, never ahead of them. He would forget things. He felt disorganized. When he came home in the evening, he was exhausted. He would sit on the couch, watch television for hours, eat a late dinner, and then go to bed, only to do the same thing the next day. On weekends, he tried to relax, but he often felt guilty about all the things he hadn't done during the week. He felt like he was just surviving, not really living. He wanted more. He wanted to feel in control. He wanted to have energy for his hobbies. He wanted to feel calm and focused at work. One day, a friend recommended a book about habits. Michael started reading it, and he had a realization. He realized that his problem was not that he was lazy. His problem was that he had no routine. He was letting the day happen to him instead of designing his day for himself. He decided to make a change, but he didn't try to change everything at once. He knew that would fail. Instead, he decided to focus on just one small part of his morning. He decided that he would wake up just 15 minutes earlier than usual. That was his only goal for the first week, just 15 minutes. The first few days were hard. His bed was warm and comfortable, but he remembered his goal. He used the 15 minutes to simply sit at his kitchen table and drink a cup of tea without looking at his phone. He just watched the morning light come through the window. He thought about nothing in particular. He just existed quietly. After 1 week, something interesting happened. He started to look forward to those 15 minutes. It became his favorite part of the day. That quiet time made him feel calm. He noticed that on the days he had his quiet tea, he felt less rushed and more patient with his students. The next week, he added another small habit. He decided to use 5 minutes of his quiet time to write down 3 things he wanted to accomplish that day. Just 3 things. Not a long to-do list, just 3 important tasks. This small act gave him direction. When he got to work, he knew exactly what he needed to focus on. He no longer felt scattered. Over the next few months, Michael slowly built his routine. He added 10 minutes of stretching. He started preparing his lunch the night before. He began reading for 20 minutes before bed, instead of watching television. None of these changes were big or dramatic, but together they transformed his life. Michael went from feeling tired and stressed to feeling energetic and in control. He had more time for his hobbies. He felt happier at work. And all of this happened because he stopped trying to change his whole life in one day and instead focused on building his ideal routine, one small habit at a time. Michael's story shows us that a routine is not a cage. It is not a boring list of things you have to do. A good routine is a framework that gives you freedom. It takes care of the small decisions so you have more mental energy for the important things. So, what are the key elements of a good daily routine? Let's dive into the first major tip, which is all about your morning. How you start your morning is crucial. Think of your mind like a computer. When you first turn on a computer in the morning, it starts up slowly. All the programs load. If you immediately open 50 different tabs, the computer will slow down and might even crash. Your brain is the same. When you first wake up, your brain is in a calm, slow state. It is coming out of sleep. This is called the theta brainwave state. It is a very creative and receptive state. But what do most of us do? The first thing we do is grab our phone. Suddenly, we are flooded with information. We see news, emails, social media posts, messages from friends. We open 50 tabs in our brain immediately. This puts us into a stress state called beta brainwaves very quickly. We start our day in a state of reaction, responding to the world's demands instead of setting our own intentions. The first tip for a successful morning routine is to create a technology-free buffer zone. This means no phone for the first 30 to 60 minutes of your day. I know this sounds difficult. Many of us use our phone as an alarm clock, but you can buy a simple, cheap alarm clock, or you can put your phone in another room. The key is to protect that first hour. During this technology-free time, you want to do activities that are calm and that set a positive tone. What you do in this time is up to you. It should be things that make you feel good and centered. Some ideas are meditation, which is just sitting quietly and focusing on your breath. This calms your mind and reduces anxiety. Another idea is journaling. You can write down 3 things you are grateful for. Gratitude is a powerful emotion that makes you feel happier. You can also write down your main goal for the day. Another great activity is reading. Reading a few pages of an inspiring book feeds your mind with positive ideas. You could also do some light stretching or go for a short walk. Moving your body wakes you up and gives you energy. And of course, you can have your coffee or tea mindfully, just enjoying the taste and the warmth without looking at a screen. The key is to be intentional. You're choosing how to spend your time instead of letting your phone choose for you. Let me give you a detailed example of a woman named Elena. Elena worked in an office. Her mornings used to be chaotic.
Her phone alarm would go off, she would pick it up to turn it off, and then she would see notifications. She would check Instagram. Then she would see a work email that made her anxious. She would start thinking about work problems while still in bed. She would rush to get ready, often forgetting things. She would arrive at work already feeling tired and stressed. One day, she decided to try the no phone rule. The first morning, she felt a strange sense of emptiness. Her hand kept reaching for her phone, but she resisted. She made her bed, which was a small win. Then she sat by the window with her coffee. At first, her mind was racing, but after a few minutes, she started to feel calm. She noticed the birds outside. She felt the warmth of the cup in her hands. She realized she hadn't felt this peaceful in years. That day at work, she was more focused. She continued the experiment. After a week, she added 5 minutes of stretching. After a month, she started writing in a gratitude journal. Elena's mornings were no longer chaotic. They were her favorite time of day. She had more energy and she felt happier. This is the power of a good morning routine. It is not about being perfect. It is about creating a calm, intentional start that gives you the energy and focus to handle whatever the day brings.
Now let's move to the second major part of a successful daily routine, and that is your evening. Many people focus only on the morning, but your evening routine is just as important. Your evening routine is what prepares you for the next day. It is the bridge between today and tomorrow. Think of it like landing a plane. You don't want the plane to just drop out of the sky. You want a smooth, controlled landing. Your evening routine is that smooth landing for your day. It helps your mind and body transition from the busyness of the day to the restfulness of sleep. And good sleep is the foundation of everything. If you don't sleep well, you cannot have a good morning routine. You will be too tired. So a good evening routine is essential for a good morning routine. The first step in a good evening routine is to create a shutdown time. This is a specific time when you decide that work and stressful tasks are over for the day. For many people, work follows them home. They check emails at night. They think about problems. This keeps their brain in a state of high alert, which makes it hard to fall asleep. So set a time, maybe 1 hour before bed, and decide that from that moment on, you are off duty. No more work, no more stressful conversations. This is your time to relax. What you do during this shutdown time should be calming. Avoid screens, because the blue light from phones and computers stops your brain from producing melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep. Instead, you can do calming activities. You can read a physical book, you can listen to soft music or a podcast, you can take a warm bath, you can do some gentle yoga or stretching, you can write in a journal about your day. Another powerful evening habit is to prepare for the next morning. This is a simple trick that reduces decision fatigue and makes your morning smoother. You can lay out your clothes for the next day. You can pack your lunch or your bag. You can check your schedule so you know what to expect. When you do these small things the night before, you wake up with less mental load. You don't have to make decisions about what to wear or what to take. Everything is ready. This makes your morning routine easier and more peaceful. Let me tell you another story to illustrate this. This is a story about a woman named Priya. Priya was a busy mother of 2 young children. Her life was very full. She felt like she was always running. Her evenings were the hardest time. She would put the children to bed, and then she would finally have some quiet time. But she was so tired, she would just sit on the couch and watch television for hours. She would fall asleep on the couch, then wake up and go to bed. The next morning, she would wake up tired and rushed, trying to find clothes for the kids and make breakfast. She felt like she was always behind. One day, she learned about the idea of an evening routine. She decided to try something new. She started by setting a shutdown time for herself, 30 minutes after the kids went to bed. During that 30 minutes, she would not turn on the television. Instead, she would do 2 things. First, she would prepare for the next morning. She would lay out her children's clothes, pack their school bags, and prepare the coffee machine. This took about 15 minutes. Then, for the final 15 minutes, she would sit quietly and read a book or just drink a cup of herbal tea. She found that this small routine changed everything. By preparing for the morning, her mornings became much calmer and less stressful, and by reading instead of watching television, she fell asleep faster and slept more deeply. She woke up feeling more rested. Her evening routine, which was only 30 minutes long, made her whole life feel more manageable. This is the power of combining a good morning routine with a good evening routine. They work together. The evening sets you up for a good morning, and the morning sets you up for a good day. Now that we have talked about the morning and the evening, let's explore the third major tip for building a successful daily routine. This tip is about something we call energy management, not time management. Many people think that success is about managing every minute of their day. They try to schedule every single second. They wake up and look at their calendar, and it is completely full. They rush from one meeting to the next, from one task to the next, without stopping. But by the end of the day, they feel exhausted, and they often haven't done the most important things. They have been busy, but not productive. The problem is that they are managing their time, but they are not managing their energy. You see, time is the same for everyone. We all have 24 hours in a day, but energy is different. Your energy goes up and down throughout the day. For most people, energy is highest in the morning, a few hours after waking up. Then it dips in the early afternoon, which is why many cultures have a siesta or a nap time. Then it might rise again a little in the late afternoon before falling in the evening. These are your natural energy rhythms. A successful routine works with your energy, not against it. This means you should schedule your most important and difficult tasks for your peak energy times. For most people, this is the morning. This is often called eating the frog, a phrase from the writer Mark Twain. He said that if the first thing you do each morning is eat a live frog, you can go through the rest of the day knowing the worst is behind you. The frog is your most important, most difficult task, the one you are most likely to procrastinate on. If you do this task first when your energy is high, you will do it better and faster. And then, for the rest of the day, everything else feels easy. But if you wait until the afternoon, when your energy is low, that frog feels 10 times harder. You will be tired, and you will be more likely to procrastinate. So look at your morning routine. After your calm, technology-free time, when you are feeling centered and focused, that is the time to tackle your frog. Don't check email first. Don't do small, easy tasks first. Do the hard thing. Do the important thing. This one change can dramatically increase your productivity and your feeling of success. Now, let's talk about the other side of energy management, rest. A successful routine is not just about doing things. It is also about resting. We live in a culture that often celebrates being busy all the time. We think that if we are not doing something, we are being lazy. But this is wrong. Rest is not a waste of time. Rest is essential for high performance. Your brain and your body need time to recover. Just like a professional athlete needs rest days between intense workouts, you need rest periods throughout your day. Without rest, your energy drains, your focus weakens, and you start to make mistakes. So in your daily routine, you must schedule short breaks. There is a popular technique called the Pomodoro technique. You work for 25 minutes, and then you take a 5-minute break. After 4 of these cycles, you take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. This technique works because it respects your brain's natural attention span. During those 5-minute breaks, it is important to truly rest. Don't check your phone or social media. That doesn't rest your brain, it fills it with more information. Instead, stand up, stretch, walk around the room, look out the window, or get a glass of water. Let your mind wander. These short breaks will recharge your energy and help you stay focused for longer. Let me give you a long example of a woman named Chloe. Chloe was a freelance writer. She worked from home, she loved her job, but she struggled with her routine. She would sit at her desk in the morning, but she often felt tired and unmotivated. She would check email, then social media, then news websites. She would finally start working around 11 in the morning. Then she would work straight through lunch, eating at her desk while continuing to type. By 3 in the afternoon, she felt completely drained. She had no energy left, but she still had work to do. She would force herself to continue, but the quality of her writing was poor, and it took her a long time to write anything. She would often work late into the evening trying to finish, which then messed up her sleep.
Chloe's problem was that she was ignoring her energy rhythms. She was doing low-value tasks like checking email during her peak energy time in the morning. And she was not taking any breaks, so her energy completely crashed in the afternoon. She decided to make a change. First, she identified her peak energy time. For her, it was from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. She decided to protect this time. She stopped checking email in the morning. Instead, she would start her most important writing project right away, right after her morning coffee and quiet time. She called this her deep work block. She would work for 90 minutes, then take a 15-minute break to walk around her garden. Then she would do another 90-minute block. By lunchtime, she had already done her most important work. In the afternoon, when her energy was lower, she scheduled her easier tasks, answering emails, doing research, and administrative work. She also started using the Pomodoro technique in the afternoon. She would work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break to stretch. This helped her maintain focus even when her energy was lower. Within 2 weeks, Chloe felt like a different person. She was finishing her work earlier, the quality was better, and she felt less stressed. She had more energy in the evenings to spend with her family. By managing her energy, not just her time, she transformed her routine and her life.
Our fourth and final tip for building a successful daily routine is about flexibility and self-compassion. This is perhaps the most important tip of all, because it is the one that helps you stick with your routine for the long term. Many people create a perfect routine on paper. It looks beautiful, it has time for meditation, exercise, work, learning English, family time, and rest. It is a perfect plan. But then, life happens. The children get sick, your boss gives you an unexpected project, you have a bad night of sleep. Your perfect routine falls apart. And then what happens? Many people feel like they have failed. They think, I ruined my routine. I am so undisciplined. And then they give up completely. They abandon the routine and go back to their old ways. This is a common trap. We think that a routine must be followed perfectly every single day. But this is not true. A good routine is like a compass, not a rigid train track. A compass shows you the direction, but it allows you to navigate around obstacles. A train track forces you to stay on the path, and if there is an obstacle, you crash. Your routine should be your compass. It should guide you, but it should also be flexible. There will be days when you cannot wake up early. There will be days when you cannot do your full morning routine, and that is okay. The key is to have a minimum viable version of your routine. This is the smallest, easiest version that you can do even on your worst day. For example, if your ideal morning routine is 1 hour long, your minimum viable routine might be just 5 minutes. On a good day, you do the full hour. On a busy or tired day, you do just the 5 minutes. Maybe those 5 minutes are just sitting quietly and taking 10 deep breaths. That is enough. That small action keeps you connected to your routine. It keeps the habit alive. It prevents you from feeling like a failure. And then the next day, it is much easier to get back to the full routine again. This idea of flexibility is also about being kind to yourself. We are humans, not robots. We will have off days. We will have weeks that are chaotic. When this happens, do not criticize yourself. Criticism and guilt only make you feel worse and make it harder to start again. Instead, practice self-compassion. Say to yourself, today was a hard day. That's okay. Tomorrow is a new day. I will do my minimum routine and get back on track. This gentle approach is much more effective than being harsh with yourself. Let me tell you a final story about a man named Alex. Alex was very excited to build his new routine. He planned to wake up at 5:30 a.m., meditate, exercise, and study English before work. The first week was great. He felt amazing. Then, on Sunday night, he couldn't sleep. He was awake until 2 a.m. When his alarm went off at 5:30 a.m., he felt terrible. He turned it off and went back to sleep. He woke up at 7 a.m. feeling rushed and guilty. He was angry at himself. He thought, I failed. I ruined my routine. That day, he felt so bad that he didn't do any of his routine.
He didn't exercise, he didn't study. He just went to work feeling tired and defeated. The next morning, he tried to wake up at 5:30 again, but he was still tired from the bad night, and he failed again. He gave up completely. Alex made the mistake of thinking that one bad day meant total failure. He didn't have a flexible mindset. Now, imagine if Alex had a different approach. Imagine he had a minimum viable routine. On that Monday morning, when he woke up at 7 a.m., he could have said, "Okay, I didn't sleep well. I will do my 5-minute routine." He could have sat on the edge of his bed and just taken 10 deep breaths. That's it. That small action would have taken almost no time, but it would have kept his habit alive. He would have felt a small sense of success, not a big sense of failure. Then, on Tuesday, he would have found it much easier to wake up and do his full routine again. This is the power of flexibility and self-compassion. It is the secret to making your routine last for years, not just for weeks.
So, my friend, as we come to the end of our time together today, let's slowly and calmly summarize everything we have learned about building the best daily routine for success. We started by understanding that a routine is not about copying someone else. It is about building your own personal system, one small habit at a time, just like Michael did when he started with just 15 minutes of quiet time. Your routine should fit your life and your goals. Then we learned about the importance of a technology-free morning buffer. This is your calm start. By not looking at your phone for the first 30 to 60 minutes, you protect your peace and set an intentional tone for the day. Remember Elena and her peaceful coffee by the window. This simple change transformed her mornings. Next, we explored the power of an evening routine. This is how you land the plane smoothly. By creating a shutdown time and preparing for the next morning, you ensure better sleep and a calmer start to the next day. Think of Priya, who used just 30 minutes in the evening to transform her chaotic mornings. After that, we talked about energy management. We learned that you must work with your natural energy rhythms, not against them. Do your most important frog task during your peak energy time and schedule easier tasks when your energy is low. And remember to take breaks. The Pomodoro technique and short rests are essential for maintaining your energy throughout the day, just like Chloe discovered. Finally, and most importantly, we learned about flexibility and self-compassion. Your routine is a compass, not a train track. Create a minimum viable version for your difficult days. Be kind to yourself when life gets in the way. Forgive yourself and start again with a small step. This is what separates people who keep their routines for life from those who give up after one bad day.
Now, I want you to think about your own life. What is one small change you can make starting tomorrow? Don't try to change everything. Just pick one thing. Maybe it is waking up 10 minutes earlier to have a quiet cup of tea. Maybe it is preparing your clothes the night before. Maybe it is identifying your frog and doing it first thing in the morning. Just one small step. Take that step tomorrow. And then the next day, take another small step. This is how you build a routine. This is how you build a life of success, peace, and purpose. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start, and then keep going, one small step at a time.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the English Leap podcast. It has been a true pleasure to spend this time with you. I hope this episode has given you some useful ideas and some motivation to create your own daily routine. If you enjoyed this conversation, please take a moment to support the podcast. First, please hit the like button right now. It really helps more people find our show. Second, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. That way, you will never miss a new episode. We have many more interesting topics coming up to help you learn English and improve your life. And finally, if you know someone who is learning English or someone who struggles with their daily routine, please share this episode with them.
You could be the person who helps them start their own journey to a more successful and peaceful life. Remember, every big achievement is just a series of small daily actions. Keep taking those actions. Keep leaping forward in your English and in your life. I am your host, and I will talk to you in the next episode. Until then, take care, be kind to yourself, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.